Alright guys, today we're going to be going over how to fix your sticky clutch pedal for free. Now, this is a pretty common problem with Firebirds and Camaros alike with the 6-speed transmission. You'll be driving and all of a sudden you'll go to push your clutch pedal down and it's going to stick to the floor, which makes it quite hard to operate the vehicle, as you can imagine. I had this happen to me the other day for the first time in an intersection. Not a pleasant experience, but this is how I went about fixing it. Now this is probably a good indication that there's a lot of components in my whole clutch system that are getting worn and are going to have to be replaced soon, but I think I have found a pretty decent fix for free that should prolong me having to fix this issue for hopefully another 10 or 15,000 miles, but we'll see. So what you do, or what I did, and this does seem to have temporarily fixed my problem. Again, this is not a permanent fix, but it should help. Is here you have your brake fluid reservoir, and here you have your clutch fluid reservoir. Now they both take .3 fluid. So here what you're going to do is you're going to unscrew this. You're going to unscrew this cap, just like that, and pop it off. Then you have this little black rubber I don't know what to call this thing, whatever. And you see the fluid in there is pretty dirty. Now it's normal for it to be dirty, it just kind of happens because it goes into the bell housing of the transmission to your slave cylinder, and it gets hot and it gets messy in there, so it's normal for it to be dirty. Obviously you want it to be clean, but in driving conditions it just happens to get dirty. Now I think people are supposed to change this a lot more often than they do, but you know, I'm learning as I go. So what I did is I took a turkey baster that I got from the store, you know, just a real normal turkey baster, not an automotive anything, just a run-of-the-mill turkey baster, and I put it in the reservoir. You squeeze it and you pull it and it pulls the fluid out, and then I put it in a water bottle, and then so you do that a couple times until it's dry in there, and then you fill it up with clean brake fluid, and then you simply get inside the car and you pump the clutch. I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 times. You keep pumping it. Now obviously before you actually pump it, you want the reservoir to be full and the cap to be on and everything. So you put the cap back on, little rubber boat, little rubber seal or whatever the heck that thing is. I have no idea what purpose it serves. And then you put the cap back on, and then you pump it, and it gets the new fluid circulating through the system. And then when you're done pumping, you come and you unscrew it again, you pull the rubber boot out, and you suck the dirty fluid out, and you put new fluid in, and you repeat this process until the fluid that you're getting back is pretty clean. And that's what I did. And then what I did was I actually took the car for a test drive. I took it out onto the road and drove it, and it drove just like normal, so that was a relief, because the last time I had drove it, the clutch pedal kept sticking to the floor, and that was less than ideal. So that's kind of what I did. You know, ideally you do a clutch system bleed, which is there's this little bleeder valve on top of the transmission, which you undo and you pump the clutch fluid, and it's a big pain in the butt. This is much easier. It's not as effective and it's not as thorough, but I think if you do this a few times, I think it's almost as good as bleeding. But that's just my opinion. Now, my opinion as to why this happened now, because I've owned the car for almost 3 years and put 8,000 miles on it almost, and I've never had this problem until the other day. I think it's because I put these long tube headers on, and the long tube headers create a lot more heat. There's a lot more surface area than the stock exhaust manifolds, and if you see under the car, if you climb under there when you're putting your headers on, you're going to see there's the clutch line. It runs pretty close to the headers, and I think as it heats up, the fluid boils and it breaks down. And I think over time that's what causes the fluid to lose its integrity, and then this causes this problem. But this is how I would recommend, you know, doing a temporary fix. So you just pull the fluid out, you fill it up, you cycle it through, you pull that fluid out, fill it up, cycle it through. I repeated that process, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. It doesn't take very long, it's very easy to do. And I was just running .3 brake fluid, just like what's in there. They say .4 is a good idea because it's got a higher boiling point, so next time I do that I'll probably try that. But yeah, so that's how I fixed my problem for free, and it seems to be working. I haven't had the clutch pedal stick on me yet, but I haven't been driving the car very much lately. It's winter time is fast approaching in Michigan. But yeah, I'm hoping that'll buy me some time before I have to replace the master cylinder with a adjustable one and the clutch and whatnot. Because they say that these LS1s have pretty lame master cylinders from the factory, and I don't think that's a lie. I think that's probably true. The master cylinders probably are pretty bad. So I'd like to upgrade that at some point, but at $300, you know, if I can put that off for a year or two, I most certainly will. So yeah, that's how I did it. Thanks for watching, guys.